What's up everyone, Josh here, and today we'll be talking about 6 economic concepts you need to know if you want to survive in a capitalistic economy. As always, make sure you like the video and subscribe. Last time we got up to 10,000 likes, and in this video I want us to reach up to 100,000 likes. If we can do this, then in the next video I'll talk about bleach and the top 10 ways you can use it in everyday life. Anyway, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Concept number 1. Remember that toy you begged your parents for as a kid? They said no to buying it because it was most likely too expensive for them at the time, and so they decided to wait. Then when the price went down, they bought it for you. But by the time you got it, it wasn't as cool as it was before. Well, strangely enough, this reflects a lot on what supply and demand is. When a product, the toy, is in high demand, and you really want it, but in short supply, the price tends to be higher, since there are so many people who want the same product, but there isn't enough to go around. If the manufacturer notices the spike, he/she will make more of the product to increase profit. But since there is more supply to satisfy the demand, the price will drop along with the original demand of the product, typically, thus making the toy less popular and desirable compared to how it was before. Concept number 2, costs and benefits. These are the things we consider when spending money on something. If tomorrow you find a really nice pair of shoes and think, I want those, but the price is worth your entire paycheck and you still have bills to pay, then you might want to consider the pros and cons of paying for their shoes, or the costs and benefits. Perhaps the shoes will look nice and give you a few compliments, but that means being late on bills and having your water shut off. If you wait and pay bills first, then maybe the shoes price will go down with the next paycheck, and you'll have shoes you've been wanting all along with the running water for your home. These are things we all must consider in everyday life. Governments and businesses use this concept to determine potential plans or policies they intend to implement. Concept number 3. Opportunity costs are pretty basic. They're the best alternative you're sacrificing to take on whatever opportunity you've chosen. For example, if you're going to take a job at a bank, you may be missing an opportunity to create the next big product that can make you a millionaire. Obviously, no guarantee of this would happen, but other alternatives should always be considered when deciding what opportunity to take. This concept could be applied to other areas of our life, such as whether or not to buy a new car, house, or get married. Is it worth making a commitment with one person when you can see other people in your youth? Consideration of the opportunity cost is taken universally through business and governments to achieve the best possible outcome. Concept number 4. This concept is like a bribe. Well, not really a bribe, more like an incentive. If your parents want you to do a job, like babysit your little siblings for the night instead of going to a friend's house, you might not be so keen to perform the task. However, if they gave you an incentive, like offering to pay a hefty fee for your services, then you might be more willing to take on the challenge for the sake of economic growth. In the business world and everyday life, incentives are used to motivate people into performing actions they wouldn't normally execute. Concept number 5. Money supply. This relatively simple concept used to confuse me when I was younger. I used to think that if the US printed more money, there would be a lot more to go around, thus solving poverty and creating an infinitely rich society. However, as I grew, I became more aware of the truth. If you increase the creation of dollar bills, then this can in turn affect interest rates and cause inflation. Money supply has to do with how much money is currently in circulation and the checking account deposits held by the public. Concept number 6. I'm not sure anyone could consider themselves experienced with money if they don't understand the basics of interest rates. If only we lived in a world where borrowing money is like taking it out of a piggy bank. You wouldn't have to pay anything for receiving the money, and you could put it back whenever you wanted. With interest rates, you'd usually have to pay a percentage of the total money borrowed annually. This rate can fluctuate as the money supply expands or shrinks. This is why people want to pay the money back as quickly as possible, because given enough time, the total you pay could exceed the amount you borrowed. In many cases, it can double. And you don't want to pay a loan off in 50 years after you first borrowed it. That's just a waste of time and money. There you go, that's all you need. You're welcome.